course we were kidnapping them and taking their bloody money and all the rest of it. But basically that was it. We just kidnap them, we take them, bash them and smash them and bash them and smash them, and give them a good eye and then let them go.
This violence that you have in you, the rage that you have in you...
It's not a rage, it's not a rage.
Did you learn it, or were you born with it, do you reckon?
I don't know. I don't know.
What does your family think of your line of work?
My father was... he was tickled pink. He'd roll around the floor laughing. And my mother was horrified into absolute denial. She just used to say that she was no relative of mine.
She thought you were mad, didn't she?
Yeah, she always believed me to be insane, you know. Yeah.
All right, Chase, what do you got?
This is the exact description of what he's just assured us violence is, and that he is not. So I want you to watch these eyebrows after he says, let them go. This is a classic stare of waiting to see if a story was bought by the other person. He gets no reaction, so you can see them soften, and it's perfectly timed. After about 1 second, you can see the eyebrows soften up. The acting is somewhere between Power Rangers and General Hospital in this one here. Greg?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd give him that much credit. This might be Kung Fu movies acting, because its timing is about as accurate. The bash him and smash him, that sounds like it comes straight from a stage play. Look, I bash him and smash him. And then he's got filler. They're just throwaway words. This is just stuff for him to be able to say something when he's rolling along. However, when he's asked the question about born with it, or was it something he learned, he goes into internal voice for one of the best we'll ever see. Guys, we always talk about internal voice when a person's having this kind of conversation with self and they're looking down to the left and thinking. There's 9 seconds of him doing that, followed by a skeptic eyebrow raise. And then she actually shows some emotional eye accessing. She looks down to her right, raises one shoulder, shows some disgust and eye blocks as she's sitting there thinking about this guy's life. It's really interesting to watch her. She has him in actual contemplation we haven't seen to now. And so you get to a point where you're wondering what's inside this guy. How much of this is bravado? How much of this is how much pain, how much lack of trust, how much of all the rest of those things that you didn't see are actually going on. At one point, when she gets him to this point where he's in contemplation, he's got his face broken away and he doesn't actually see her face do that look that he so much desires. I think part of his entire thing is a shock act, Mark, to get a reaction from people, and then he plays on it. When he says, my mother thought I was insane, he does kind of a look of, maybe I am, maybe a dismissal thing, but he genuinely looks like it matters to him that his mother thought that. His voice tone, his cadence, both shift and soften when he's talking about his mother. Very different speech patterns. Go back and listen to it. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, just a few behavioural things. Clearly, he's not connected at all with the idea of rage or violence, wants to discount that completely. We got that moment there of meet the parents, where you got one parent who thinks the son's violence is hilarious, and another parent who thinks he's mad. That's not a good combination. It doesn't excuse this man's behaviour, but often when you look at the parents, you go, well, that's not a surprise, is it? That this human being occurred. Now, tattoos, they're always interesting. We had a lovely kind of shot of the tattoos, and often they're used as social proof to go, look, I'm part of this team, part of this group. I've never seen tattoos like, maybe I don't see enough tattoos and I don't see enough Australian prison tattoos, but that's nothing like I would have expected of tattoos. They're kind of quite, beautiful and kind of like a, I don't know, like a starlit night across his chest, or some kind of wavy. It's quite childish in a way, not what I would expect at all. It's rather like my grandmother used to sell wallpaper, and it just reminds me of some of the 1970s, 1980s wallpaper patterns. And I don't know why. I just can't work out why he'd ask for those designs and go, I know, because somebody would go, Chopper, we can give you some really severe tattoos here, make you look like some kind of Russian, criminal, or Japanese, and he's like, no, what I'd like is something just kind of soft and squidgy, kind of going across the whole body there, something quite beautiful, something quite lyrical going. So I wonder whether we're getting a look with those tattoos at something that is actually inside him, some kind of little child that's inside him that wants all those kind of childish squiggles. Or maybe I don't know enough about Australian prison tattoos, and that is the signal that he's a complete badass. I'm not sure. Scott, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, well, apparently you don't know about those, but I've seen that picture of you at the beach where you have that big eagle on there, and it's Greg's head. His face is on the eagle's face, and he's got a rose in his mouth. I've seen that, and it's on the net somewhere.
You're not supposed to show that. No.
Yeah, I'm real.
We, me, and him.
But Google it, you'll find it. And you guys are right. The interviewer, she's showing this doubt and being unsure about what he's talking about. I don't think she believes this at all. And then when he starts talking about his childhood, where his father was a criminal and his mother, he didn't say his father was a criminal, but I would guess that's what was going on. And because he thinks what he's doing is funny. And apparently his father was fairly violent with him when he was a child. And his mother's, disowned him. That's what he's saying anyway. That's where we're seeing these expressions of pain and grief and eye blocking when he's talking about his mother, saying that stuff about him. I think he's trying to block that stuff, that the pain of that, by blocking his eyes and turning his head a little bit. It looks like he's been slapped or something. So I think he's trying to block that out because that's got to be painful for him. That vision of his mom saying that stuff, or at least thinking that stuff as he goes through it. You guys covered everything, so that's all I got.
So what do you got?